Hello everyone, welcome back to Research AI Tools, the channel where we explore the latest AI tools that can make learning, research, and productivity much easier. This is part 2 of my Custom GPT series. If you haven't watched part 1, I highly recommend checking it out before I cover these several powerful GPTs that are extremely useful for researchers and students. Now, you might ask, why should we use custom GPTs instead of the regular GPT? The answer is simple. While the standard GPT is a general purpose AI assistant, custom GPTs are designed for specific domains. They come with specialized instructions, optimized workflows, and focused expertise, allowing them to produce more relevant, consistent, and high quality responses for a particular task. Instead of repeatedly explaining your requirements, these GPTs are already understood the context of the job they are designed for. Today's video is specifically for students, researchers, engineers, and educators who may not be expert programmers but need to complete assignments, research projects, coding tasks, or simply want to learn programming more efficiently. In this video, I'll guide you step by step through 4 amazing GPTs built for programmers. So first thing first, as you can see that in front of me is a page that says Explore GPT. So you can reach out to this page by entering exact same query in the Google, and it will take you to this particular page. Here you can see that there are a bunch of custom GPTs available on this particular page, and you can browse them category wise. For example, they're categorically mentioned as programming, lifestyle, education, productivity, research and analysis, and writing. So you can browse any particular custom GPT by clicking on the subcategory. So since we are going to discuss GPTs built for programmers, so let's start with the most desirable GPT, that is Python. So write just Python in the search bar and allow these GPTs to be searched. So for example, now we have a bunch of GPTs that are associated with Python, but you can select the GPT with the most number of responses or the followers associated. For example, with this Python GPT, more than 700K plus followers are attending this GPT. So I'm going to click on this, and as soon as I click on this GPT, and much like the GPT is explained in the first part of my channel, these there are some built-in questions available on this. For example, they are known as conversation starters. So this will guide you regarding how you can start the conversation. So for example, it can tell you how do I fix this Python error. So for example, if you've already written Python code and you are experiencing a technical error, so you can put in the code in this space and then it can find the errors for you. Explain decorators in Python. What are the best practices for Python coding? How to optimize this Python code? So let's start the chat. And as everyone know, Python has become one of the most popular programming languages in the world. So because of its simplicity, readability, and huge ecosystem of libraries, it is widely used in web development, data science, computer vision, automation, etc. So within this Python GPT, you can obviously ask it to write a code. For example, I can ask it to write a code to program digital twins for biomedical applications. So once I enter the code now, it is saying to me that the field I have mentioned is a very broad one, and it has to be summarized and it has to be narrowed down before it can give me a precise code. For example, I have to mention that whether I would be dealing with a patient with a cardiovascular health disease or something, some other like lung cancer detection or something like that. But I just want to give you an example regarding how it can give you a very complex code of digital twins in a matter of minutes. So you have to use this code ethically by understanding what is going on. So we would be discussing a custom GPT based upon that as well in the upcoming minutes. So for example, it is also telling you that besides the code that it has given you, it is also telling you that these are some of the some of the parameters that are associated with the biomedical applications. So it is a very good one. So this is something that is associated with engineering streams. My students or the researcher associated with their streams can enter the prompt based upon their field and then check out this custom GPTs. And this is another very good website that allows you to, test this Python GPT, and it gives you some custom-made prompts that you can test within this Python GPT to aware yourself how this GPT works. So I'm going to share the link of this particular website in the comment section or the description section so you might go and check it out. For example, one of the prompts that is given is explain what this code does and identify any potential bugs. So I'm going to copy paste this one and let's see whether Python GPT will be tested against this particular code. So once I enter the code, it is telling me that code walkthrough is given. So it is telling you step by step very clearly if you are a novice. So it helps you in understanding this code. And now it has executed this code and potential bug is mentioned. So obviously the bug is clearly mentioned. And there you go. It has corrected it as well with the other considerations. So as you can see that it not only helps you in understanding the code by explaining every line of code, but it can also correct it. Besides these functionalities, it helps you to optimize slow programs, converts algorithms into Python. So for example, if you have an algorithm that is the raw form of a code, you can input this into this particular GPT and it gives you answers very, very quickly. So again, this is something that has been proven to be very beneficial for me. So this is the Python GPT. So again, these are some of the other prompts that you can go ahead and check it out. For example, if you do not understand an error, for example, in the coding, sometimes the errors are pretty descriptive or not descriptive at all, which makes it very difficult to understand what the errors really mean. So, for example, it is exactly telling you what kind of an error this is and what this error means, which line caused it. So again, you have to type in the full code. So again, this code that I have promised to copy in the description section, it contains loads of very interesting prompts that you can go ahead and check it out in the Python GPT. So let's go to the second GPT that I intend to cover, and that's go to explore GPTs. And there you go, we are in the front page of this GPT section. And now I'm going to type MATLAB. So MATLAB is another language that is most sought after in engineering and in medicine nowadays as well. Particularly, it is associated with signal processing, image processing, robotics, communication, and control systems. So again, based upon the number of members associated with this GPT, I'm going to select this one. This has 400K plus conversations attached to it. So again, the conversation starters are mentioned very clearly. Capabilities are code interpreter and data analysis, web search, and 40 image generation. So let's start. And much like the Python GPT, it has a space available and it has specific modes attached as well. So you can go ahead and test these modes based upon your requirement. So again, I'm going to test it using a particular prompt. So I'm going to say that give me a basic code to test CNN for image classification. So what I'm going to give it is that I'm going to run convolutional neural networks and I'm interested in that and I want to test it for image classification. So again, instead of just writing the whole code myself, it has given me everything. For example, the how to store the images, how to define CNN architecture, and again, this is very very useful. How to train again the engineers or the working in the field of research, they very well know that the main two parts are the training and testing of the CNN. So again, it has given me particular codes, and as you can see, the code is very well commented. So the lines pertaining to each command has been particularly and explicitly mentioned. So there are again, it is saying that there are no errors that are present. It is using built-in digit data sets. So again, this is excellent. So again, it is also providing a bunch of observations and bunch of suggestions for you to go ahead. For example, this network is very famous nowadays in engineering. That is ResNet. So it is asking you that it might help you with the transfer learning example using ResNet 18 or Google LENet. So based upon that, you can also give it a code which is erroneous and you want the error to be removed. So give that erroneous code to this particular GPT and it will remove errors. It can also develop Simulink related solutions. One more thing that I want to mention is that if you are not confident regarding a particular code and if you have developed only a few main sub functions of the code and you wanted to complete the code, these two GPTs that I have discussed, the MATLAB one and the Python one, they both are perfectly able to complete the codes as well. So the third GPT that I'm going to discuss is, let's go back to the main Explore GPT's page. And the third GPT that I'm going to discuss is the Code Tutor. Now, let's first go to the Code Tutor and allow it to search it. Now, if your goal is learning programming rather than just generating code, then Code Tutor is one of the best custom GPTs available to give you a tutorial regarding how to pursue the codings. Unlike many coding assistants that simply provide the final answer, Code Tutor focuses on helping you understand the logic behind the solution. It can teach programming step by step, it can explain programming concepts in a single language, break complex algorithm into simpler pieces so that you may understand it perfectly. So again, some conversation starters are given, so you can go ahead and check these out. And the capabilities are mentioned. So let's go ahead and start the chat. And again, this is the one of the GPTs that I am very impressed with. So please go ahead and check this out. So there are some mini tabs available over here that is helped me with my homework assignment. How are you different than regular Planmigo? How can I improve my coding efficiency? So let's just go into this file and again, there are some these are some options that are available. So for example, this is something very interesting. For example, I have copy this one. And what is this? Quiz me on basic JavaScript loops with one question at a time. So again, if you are not good at just simply traversing through the instructions or learning through the instructions, then again it has started asking you questions from the JavaScript loops. So this you get, and again you can ask it to give me an explanation regarding recursion in dev C++ along with suitable examples. My current literacy is novice. So again, you have to tell it that what is your current literacy level. And again, it is telling you since you're a beginner, and I'll keep the explanation focused on the idea rather than advanced details. So now it is telling you what is the recursion, what is the base case, recursive case, everyday analogy, factorial numbers, how to calculate factorial numbers. Again, this is a very basic code in our world. And when is recursion useful? And this is a very broad GPT. So much like Python and MATLAB, you can ask it to generate the code as well, find out errors and anything that you want to understand regarding the code, the errors. And once you're well complacent with all the categories of the coding, you may go ahead and ask it to conduct a quiz for you, which can help you in understanding the concepts. So this was the third GPT that we discussed, and for the last GPT of the day, that is also very impressive, is related to Microsoft Excel. So let's just first ask it to find it out. And now Microsoft Excel is one of the most powerful productivity tool available, yet many people use only a small fraction of its capabilities. So, regarding many of the students that I teach, they are very comfortable in Microsoft Excel until and unless I give them a specific task in which a formula needs to be generated. And this is where many of the students struggle. to write a perfect formula. And this is where this Excel AI GPT is excellent. And again, it has given you some conversation starters. You may go ahead and discuss these among yourself or within a group. So let's start the chat, and it can perform a majority of tasks for you regarding the data generation, data analysis mode, function writing mode, and reorganized data mode. So one of the very excellent features related to this GPT is the function writing mode. So let's just test a few prompts for this particular GPT. So let's just copy this, and we are going to discuss over here. Give me a formula or freshware instructions to split full names into column A into separate first and last name columns. So again, you have the full names of certain customers or the consumers that are working for you, or for example, that are purchasing product from your store, and you want to bifurcate them based upon the second name or the first name. So you might want to distinguish the first and second name. So this is a basic prompt that I have entered, and based upon that, it has given you excellent formulas that you want to just put in the formula section of the Microsoft Excel. And there you go. The names have been split up into the first and second names. So this is as easy as that. You don't need to worry about what would be the query and what would be the formula. Just if you have the table in front of you that have been generated, the data, you might just want to go to this specific GPT, just enter what do you want from the Excel, and it can generate the custom built formulas for you. So this is something that can be done. And again, you may want this particular GPT to generate data for you. So create a table with 5 rows and 6 columns showing employees' names, department, and monthly sales. So there you go. It has generated the data for you, and this can be easily copy pasted from here to the Microsoft Excel sheet. So there you go. You can generate the formulas, you can generate the data, you can clean and organize data sets, create sample data sets, which are excellent for if you're working in engineering field, such as pivot tables and etc. So these are the four GPTs that we discussed today. AI is moving beyond general conversations into specialized assistants that can dramatically improve learning and productivity. If you're working with Python, MATLAB, programming concepts, or Excel, these GPTs can save hours of effort while helping you understand underlying concepts instead of simply copying solutions. I encourage you to experiment with these GPTs using your own assignments, research projects, and datasets. The more specific your prompts are, the better the results you'll receive. If you found this video helpful, please like this video, share it with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to Research AI Tools for more practical AI tutorials designed specifically for students, researchers, and educators. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.